Okay, what up, ladies and gents? Are we live? It is your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully one of your favorite official content creators for the First Descendant. And today we are going to talk about swords. My word. Okay, okay. We're gonna get everything set up, so give me a moment, and then after that we'll begin, and we'll do all of our usual stuff. So for those of you that enjoy, well, sit tight. Greetings, greetings. Welcome, everybody. There we go. Poll options are done. There we go. D2, the MO gaming channel. I have no idea what you're even asking me, buddy. Of course, my music is always good. Welcome to the show, everybody. All right, now listen up. Those of you who haven't seen what swords are all about, you guys should know that they're coming with ammo. And this, of course, has heavily disappointed all of us. Me and Austin were talking about swords not being like Destiny 2. Well, apparently they're exactly like Destiny 2. I don't ever like the mention of Warframe on this channel because it often invites trolls. But tonight, you are allowed to mention Warframe. Why? Because this is the dumbest system that I have ever seen on Melee. They copied everything from Warframe. Everything from the modules to their arcade tuning tree and all that, the fact that everything is like 4 abilities just like Warframe, they copied all of that from Warframe for their descendants, and yet when it came to swords, they decided, you know what, lads, I'll go to Destiny 2 and take the worst of both and I'll combine them to... Like, who does that? Let me start by saying that, because this is the worst decision I have seen in the history of decisions, maybe ever. Why would they do that? The one thing they chose to copy from Destiny 2 was not amazing exotics that could totally change our playstyle. No, they chose to copy the shitty swords. Now, granted, I will say that the animation of the swords looks very cool. I love that the green ammo sword, the impact ammo sword, all right, that one had like a dash. It looked like a really cool, like fast samurai melee. That one looked like some Devil May Cry stuff. Of course, we don't have a combo meter here, but it was pretty stylish, all right. But the copy of what's it called, the crown splitter, or heavy guillotine, or the guillotine, whatever it's called. Either way, that heavy sword, it's got 15 ammo. What am I supposed to do in 15 swings? What exactly am I supposed to do in 15 swings of the sword? They said it's for single target damage. So what? I'm supposed to just pull out that one sword, all right, and then just bust a sword's one boss. It's designed for single target damage, relies on heavy ammo. What if I don't find any heavy ammo along the way? Not being able to do combos, I'm assuming, would drastically affect the attack speed. I'd have to play around with it in the lab, but, you know, exactly. They don't have the power without the ammo, and I think that they just literally copied the Destiny 2 swords. I am almost 100% certain, Austin, that they grabbed the Destiny 2 swords, and then they just slapped them all on it. So that's why I'm doing this poll today, because who is the 25% that's still hyped and excited? Say it now. Raise your hand right now. Who's still hyped? Who's still hyped about the swords? Because I tell you, are you okay, sir? Sir, can I get you anything today? Can I get you some coffee? Can I get you something? Because if you are still hyped and excited about swords that use ammo, the God Emperor of Mankind in Warhammer 40k is looking at you and saying, WTF. All right? For those of you that remember that old series before it got canned by Games Workshop, you know, if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, this would be one of those instances where the Emperor is sitting on the golden throne saying, why do swords require ammo? I did not design chain swords to require ammo. You. Like, I can literally hear his voice in my head right now, okay, being absolutely pissed off. Do you think that when I am bringing justice to the enemies of the Imperial, of the Imperium, do you think that my chainsword needs to stop and reload? True, but Austin, they look like they don't have a lot of AoE. Because I will tell you right now, the gap closer is completely irrelevant if there is no auto dash, and there was no auto dash. It was just I slash in place, which means I don't know if I can slash while moving or what the mobility is like of the sword, because with the gun I can move around while firing. What about the sword? Because they didn't exactly show me running around and slashing. I wouldn't, and like, because it's melee range, how far is the melee range? Because if it's not convenient to just dash around and use the sword with unlimited ammo characters, it's gonna be hella bad. That's the entire problem. It doesn't look like we've got a smooth gap closing type system like with DMC or a lot of the other you know, action type games. The sword with the gap closer is the green sword, but that one, it's a dash, and it didn't look like it stops on the enemy. It looks like it goes through the enemy, which is even weirder. Now, that is going to cause some serious estimation problems unless I can manually select how far I want to dash. So all of this did not seem like premium swordplay to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just didn't look smooth at all. Like, again, look. I come from games where swordplay is very important. I don't know how many of y'all have seen my Dark Tide streams, but have you seen how important our melee weapons are in that one? If your melee weapon pattern is bad, you know, it's gonna feel like trash in your hands. All right, I'm a bit of a connoisseur when it comes to this because there are many weapons in Dark Tide that go unused because the pattern of the swing sucks. You know, it's gonna be just a decoration. And Cassius, Descendants have mana, weapons have ammo, sword is a weapon. Sure, if you feel that way about it, here's 2 thumbs for you. I hope that you're excited for the swords because this is going to be absolutely garbage. And I'm going to tell you this right now, it's going to be absolutely garbage. Because this is not how a sword is designed. Did you know that even in Warhammer 40k, when it comes to power swords that have a literal power cell strapped to the sword. Now, for those of you that aren't Warhammer 40k nerds, the power swords project a destabilization field, a D field, around the blade of the sword. This is activated through the power pack. It runs through the sword. This basically destabilizes molecular bonds between the enemy. Therefore, you can shred through armor, including tanks. You can literally chop through enemies with a power weapon. That's what a power sword is, right? So in this particular game, you're telling me that with all of our advanced Albion technology, I need to reload my sword in the field. First and foremost, if they want to bring realism into it, that's ridiculous, because what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to change the batteries in the field in the middle of combat? No, right? Surely they'd make the sword at least last for one engagement. Okay, even if that's not the case, what are the chances that the enemy is going to be carrying a compatible battery power pack? If not, what? Am I manufacturing the power pack for my sword? 40k solves this. 1 second. 40k solves this by having their power packs regenerate. So you can't use them all the time. When I was planning my sword video, now I was too busy today because I had to go to the dentist and get my tooth looked at. So sorry about that. That's why there was no morning stream. But I actually planned on showcasing a comparison to how a power falchion, am I pronouncing that right? Let me just Google that real quickly, falchion. How to pronounce. 1 second. There we go. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to the Merriam-Webster so I can hear this.
Falchion.
Falchion? Oh, come on, it's not even playing the US version. Ugh. There we go.
Falchion.
Falchion. Okay, so not falchion. Falchion. The falchion, all right, the power falchion has a regenerating pack. Thank you. Very blessed to have you all here. Thank you for saying bless you for the sneeze. But anyway, it has a regenerating power pack that actually literally, you know, smacks through the enemies. And then when the power pack overloads, it cools down. Yeah. So this is how swords work in the 41st millennium, where everything is grimdark. Technology sucks. Albion probably has more advanced technology than they have, because they can't even get teleportation right in 40k. They have to literally go through hell to get from one location to another. For those of you that are not Warhammer 40k nerds, it's okay. I'm a big Warhammer 40k nerd, so I'm very nerdy about that. I feel like they just literally copied Destiny's 2 swords, pasted them into the game. But why would they do that if they've taken everything thus far from Warframe? And again, I normally hate mentions of Warframe because it brings trolls to my channel, but I have to say it today. Why did they take everything from Warframe except for the melee system? Because the melee system in Warframe is actually great. I don't play figures, no, but I'm big into reading the lore. Figures are too expensive for me. I'm broke. So sorry, coming back to my point that I made there. Sorry, deviated off there for Jexter. But the big issue for me is that this makes no sense. Why copy everything from Warframe and take the melee from Destiny 2 instead? Well, our swords don't need to reload either. But what I'm saying is that why should the sword have ammo at all? Because it makes no sense. It was not a great idea in Destiny 2. So it's not a great idea here. And falchion is correct. I'll double check it later, Baron. Because falchion seems correct as well. Never mind. I'll look into it more a little later. There's several other channels that I rely on, but I don't like to bring up their stuff in case of copyright on my stream. So I usually review it after stream, but I've always called it falchion. Listen, I have no love for Warframe, but yeah. Well, technically we have a combo, Keyshawn. So just to answer that, we do have a combo. If you press and hold, or if you press the attack button multiple times while there's ammo, the live stream did show you a combo. It's only one combo pattern, true, but we technically do have a combo and a skill. I'm assuming that without ammo, we're just gonna swing it once and then stop. So like swing once, stop, swing once, stop. We'll have to see how it actually plays out without the ammo. So that's going to be pretty important. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. The other thing is that you can deflect or defend with the sword. I don't know how that's going to work because they only showed it in the lab, not in actual combat. So it depends on how strong the deflect is. It normally is Hypernauts, but today is special because we're discussing the sword specifically. And you cannot discuss the swords without bringing up Warframe's melee system. If the trolls come, I'll just ban them all again like I did last time. But the point is that we can't have this one particular discussion. We can't have it without talking about Warframe because Warframe's melee system with combos and stances, at least to the best that I remember back when I played it 10 years ago, they already had stances and combos for weapons and dozens of melee weapons that, well, some felt similar, but some were pretty different. So it was an interesting system. Or they could have worked off MP. There's a lot of, but that would still have been a limiting factor. Look, I stand by the statement that I made. I'm a Warhammer 40k nerd. And thanks for saying that my nerding is okay, Joe. But I will say this one thing. A chain sword, which literally is a chainsaw sword. Have you guys ever seen... Oh, I didn't watch that far. I only watched the specific sword showcase, yeah. I don't like that though, Chester, because if you look at the way the game is now, why would anyone it comes back to the question. It comes back to the question of why would anyone want to switch between melee and gunplay when I can just throw one skill and Ines clears the whole room? It doesn't make sense here either, Cassius. Why would ammo for a sword make sense? Why would a sword need ammo? If you're not even reloading the weapon, think about it this way. If you're not reloading the weapon, how does it make sense for you to have to pick up ammo? That's the thing, you know? Why did I quit Warframe? I played it 10 years ago. I wasn't even a content creator there. I just never went back. When I became a content creator, Warframe didn't interest me at all. I just wanted to play TFD. Like, the thing is, Cassius, I get that you want to defend them, but you have to defend them in a way that makes sense. In what sense, in what way does it make sense for a sword to have a need for ammo? We're not reloading it, right? And if it's a power cell, like I said, let's reference any other fiction in the world. Warhammer 40k, it's a power cell, right? So your power cell needs time to recharge. I chop off the heads of 20 heretics. I need to like, you know, let it recharge for a while it's overheated. But after a while, I get to use it again. I don't have to literally pick up ammo for my sword to work. Because here, why am I picking up ammo? What am I doing? I'm not loading ammo into the sword. I'm not loading rounds into the sword, right? You know? Avoiding power creep and unlimited ammo issue is not a reason for this. It doesn't make sense, Cassius. It's a limiting factor for no reason whatsoever. The whole... If we say that, right, then why does Ultimate Luna exist? Why does Nell exist when they can literally blast through? It is developer laziness, Selena. Selena hit the nail on the head. You can't say avoid power creep, unlimited ammo issue. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm going at you, Cassius, because I'm going to tell you right now that you're defending them in ways that don't make sense. Please, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to have a go at you. But I don't understand why you're defending and standing your ground on this so much. When we say avoid power creep, Serena's still up there. I don't push for nerfs, but Serena is still one of the strongest. I mean, realistically speaking, we have Nell that can throw one ball of void energy and kill the entire selection VP. You've seen me do that. So what power creep are we avoiding? Any energy weapon in the Warhammer 40k universe. Let's use Warhammer 40k as an example, right? Let's talk about that universe first before we go into other universes. Warhammer 40k, any power cell based weapon simply regenerates, right? Over time. So they could have introduced a overheating mechanic because guess what? That exists in Darktide. An overheating mechanic exists in Darktide. They could have used that. They chose not to use that. They chose to use ammo. Selena said it right. It's developer laziness. They already had the ammo system in place, and they said, you know what? We're just going to slap on the system we already have onto the sword instead of making a new and unique mechanic for the sword. Darktide actually made unique mechanics for their melee weapons because melee is a big, important part of Darktide. I understand. You know, I understand. It's a necessity for melee to be good in that game. You know? But here it just seems like developer laziness. They just slapped on the system they have now and then plonked it on. And I tell you, a couple of months down the line, after the backlash, they're going to change it. They're going to absolutely change it. And even if they don't want melee to be OP, that makes zero sense because literally every single character in this game is already OP. And is that a bad thing? Because we need somebody to compete with Serena, or are we just going to have another month of Serena being on top? Right? Ajax with sword with unlimited ammo will be so broken. Why Ajax? I mean, realistically speaking, let's talk about ammo with the sword. Why can't I can already be so-called OP with Gley. Unlimited ammo because it's designed for single target damage, right? What's to stop me from going in there and slashing a Colossus with Gley, unlimited ammo, and slamming it down, right? Now, I could do the same with Enzo. I could do the same with... Heck, even Serena's probably going to be even more OP because all she's going to have to do is pop up her skill, go whack, whack, whack with the sword, and then boom, big hit. And Serena can restore ammo as well. So if that functions in the same way as Gun, then I can literally just dash in with Serena. So what do you mean as broken as Serena? She's already in the game. It will already be broken. That is not an excuse. That can never be an excuse for making bad mechanics. Exactly what Jexter says. It could have evened the ground if they made it a non-ammo reliant mechanic. But again, Serena is going to be top tier. Gley is gonna rip. So all these little arguments that are being made, look, why are you fighting for them? Why are you trying to fight for them? Is there, literally, what is the issue here? Gley has HP issues, dude. Have you seen Gley while she's getting shot at? Like, you literally just don't die if you build correctly with high enough defense. You only need HP consumed once. You've got 9 seconds. You know, you've got 9 seconds that I can hit with that Crown Slayer sword, whatever they call it, the big heavy sword. I could hit for 9 seconds. And then after that, slap down for like however many times it takes. Well, it's not that the only people who can criticize the game are the ones who love it. I mean, anybody can criticize the game, but the point is we criticize it because we love it. Well, a sub-melee option would be kind of cool, but I think they wanted the swords to be their own weapon, which is not wrong. I just wish that it was not done in a way that, you know, with the ammo. Yeah, I mean, you could have Enzo in your party anyway and have theoretically infinite ammo, but I mean... realistically speaking, it's still not enough because of the pacing at which he reloads. I don't believe there's any way to increase the pacing at which he reloads. Serena, I think, would be more likely to be more overpowered. I mean, Gley can reach absurd amounts of hit points or defense. I mean, it's not really a problem, so there is no HP issue to even talk about there, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they chose Destiny 2 swords is a terrible, terrible decision. But yeah. Ammo for swords is goofy because, like I said, I still have not heard what I am reloading. What am I reloading? Alright, because I'm clearly picking up ammo to charge something, right? Even if I'm not putting it into the sword, right? Let's suspend our disbelief for a couple of seconds. I'm not putting ammo into the sword, right? What am I reloading? Am I taking out a whetstone? Am I taking the Vulgus ammo and using it as a whetstone to sharpen my sword in the middle of the game? Like, come on. This is silly. Now, Haley with swords might be interesting, except for the fact that they have ammo, so she's gonna run out. Now, somebody mentioned stamina meters, things like that. Guess what? Darktide already has that, and it works. But their melee system is much more advanced than here, because that game depends on melee. This doesn't. So, I think it's just going to be weird. If reloading doesn't make sense, it makes no sense to have ammo either. That's the whole issue I'm trying to say. Like I said, not trying to have a go at you, but this doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. It's silly. They should have, instead of, because what they've done is they've copy-pasted their current system, as well as Destiny 2's system, which works with their current system, and slammed it together. But they shouldn't have done that. They should have made a unique system for swords. Apparently they can, Armored Core Kid, but I have to actually test it in the field. I don't know how much it's blocking. If they at least made it a cool deflect like Genji can do in Overwatch, and I can deflect Colossus shots back at them, then I'd say, okay, swords are pretty cool. I wouldn't even mind the ammo restriction. Because I'm going to block I'm going to parry every single thing that the Colossus shoots at me, and then after that go slice and dice it. Okay, no problem. But I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me right now. I'm certain that we will probably need to test if blocking eats ammo as well. I think that'll be something that we'll have to look at. Using MP could have also been a system that they applied, Selena. A couple of people have mentioned that already, not even on the stream, but in other locations as well. Several people have indeed mentioned that why don't the swords just consume MP? Because, like, it makes more sense if we're charging the swords with RK, which is fair enough. If they're charging the swords with RK... Oh, I'm not actually playing today, Eisenford. I'm just here to discuss, so I don't care about Wall Crasher. I mean, I might play later, but the point is to have the discussion first, because I know that this is a big issue for a lot of people. Yeah, so let's focus on the discussion. You don't need to tell me what's going on in game, all right? If I wanted to play the game, I would. In fact, I'd actually rather be playing Space Marine 2 right now. But I am here for you guys anyway, because guess what? I'm still the #1 content creator, and I'm here to support you guys. And I will always be here to support you guys. I'm still going to be playing the sword. I'm still going to be figuring out the build for it. I'm still going to be doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for the community. But doesn't mean I don't get pissed off when I see the devs doing something silly like this, because this is the wrong way to use healing magic. Those of you who know that manga, I like you. But this is seriously the wrong way to use healing magic. Okay. One second. Just replying. Okay. MP or stamina system makes more sense. Like I said, this system exists in several other games. Okay, let's not even talk about Warhammer 40k, because I'm a huge Warhammer 40k nerd. It makes sense that I know more about that. Okay, let's deviate. Star Wars, stamina system, right? Because I'm a Jedi, I'm using the Force, my mental energy. Sure, I can probably block and swing fairly well, but if I want to really pull off all my best combos, I've got to use the Force. I've got to have mental concentration, so stamina makes sense there, all right? But that works off the basis that my lightsaber never runs out of power. Fair enough. Let's take a look at other games that have swords. If we take a look at, and I hate mentioning it, but Warframe, they have a whole ass melee system, and I've never seen them need... I'm pretty sure, as far as I recall, some of the swords do have like a energy kind of like look, but they don't need any ammo there. Now, Destiny 2 is the only game that has ammo for swords. And most of the time, you're using something broken like Telesto or some other insane weapon that is broken in place of a sword. I mean, there's a couple of swords that are cool, but it's not like you use them all the time. So even within this universe of swords, the only one that exists with ammo is Destiny 2. And I'm pretty sure people don't like swords in there. Because as far as I remember, back when I did play Destiny 2 a long, long time ago, none of the top builds ever used swords. Like, they were something like flavor builds, but most of the time, the top builds for anything never used a sword. Swords as a conduit for different skills would, like, I think that would have made sense, Baron. Like, that would have been pretty cool, but yeah. Swords were used to glide across raid maps. Hell, I would have been happy if they gave us Monster Hunter Wilds, guys. They could have just given me Monster Hunter Wilds, where I have, I don't know, my longsword, great sword, hunting horn. Hell, I would have loved a hunting horn in this game. But I'm pretty sure even my gunblade doesn't run out of ammo. Armored Core Kid, please do not mention any other creators regardless, okay? Doing so will receive a chat ban from you because we don't talk about other creators here. That is just not cool, and we should not be doing that, okay? Please don't ever do that again, sir. If you're hanging out in my chat, let's focus the discussion on the topics at hand. Even in reference to the conversation, we should never ever mention another creator no matter what. Let's not do that, dude. Come on. You should know better than that. I can imagine them being used for movement, yeah. That sounds about right. Lament is fire. Well, maybe. Well, let's see what kind of role they have here, because as far as I can tell, they're going to have 0 role here. Just pick the I hate ammo on swords option if you're not excited. The fact that 1/4 are still hyped and excited is mind-boggling, but understandable. I actually expected way less than 1/4, but 1/4 is pretty good. I expected only 10% to pick that option because I'm like, okay, cool. I don't think melee weapons are stupid. I think melee weapons add a lot of flavor to a game like this. I mean, can you imagine if we had a melee system like Devil May Cry, where I could get style points? I mean, they have Bayonetta. No one uses guns anymore. Danny, you drunk or something? I think you typed the wrong thing there. FYI, swords are used in a lot of sci-fi settings or fantasy settings, but usually they come with the ability to block bullets. Or if we want to go StarCraft with the, well, it's not really a sword, it's more like a psi blade, but technically speaking, the Protoss have shields while they charge at the enemy to get within swording distance, or as it were, blading distance. The fact that you're just hyped for a build, dude, you're gonna get that done in like 1 day, and then that's it. I mean, if you still play for the builds, you know, I give you a salute, but I'm gonna be playing other games as soon as I'm done. Like, because this is literally a waste of my time. If I wanted melee, I would go to Darktide. I don't want to play ammo pickup. Grand Blue Fantasy. Never heard of the game, but, well, if they ever decide to sponsor me, hell, you can tell the devs, hey, give this guy a sponsorship and then I'll play. I never play anything I'm not sponsored to play. Well, at least we do get a new Void Vessel. We do get a new Void Vessel to run for the swords, so that is a bit of content. So at least we have that. I have no idea about pricing Musculo Richard, but we'll see it. We'll see about that. If it is true that they're adding 20 for 2 trans manual skins, I have no idea what that means. But if they're adding something for 20 bucks, then well, it's on par for skin prices. But I have no idea what you're referring to. I didn't actually watch the whole live stream. I just watched the sword section. I mean, it already is a running simulator, and it will continue to be because that's how skilled descendants play. I'm not against that, but I was hoping swords could change it up. Well, the fact of the matter is that time is completely irrelevant. I hate to say this, Tatas, but quality of life changes always happen in a lot of games. If you wasted the hours, that's a personal choice. I mean, I spent the hours to farm perfect reactors in my situation. I'm not complaining. because quality of life ultimately is good for the player base. So I'm always in favor of quality of life changes, even if it means that the hard work is taken away. I played back when outposts were 5 minutes each. Doesn't mean that I lament the fact that everything is easier now. That's not how it works. Oh, 500 caliber, 10 bucks. That's all right. Not too bad. I mean, I don't mind it if they're dropping an extended battle pass. That's fine with me. I don't really care. I'm okay with it. Albion is empty. I mean, how many players do we have today? Let me just check. We're probably going to bum around 6K. At least it's not falling further. So the peak was about 6.3. And it seems to be holding steady there. So there was massive drops coming down from 7K. But it looks like our player base stabilized at about 6.3, 6.4K, which I'm really grateful about. Because I was getting worried how far we'd fall. If we don't fall below 6K, I say we're doing good, at least on Steam. Because the total player count is still about 17 to 15K, 15 to 17K at peak. Which is alright. It's alright. I mean, Season 3 is boring, but I would not say it's dead. Sure, we're not equal to Warframe's player base, which is at least 80 to 90K, sure. But we're doing all right. 15 to 17K is not bad. That's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad, you know what I'm saying? You know, even Darktide is a niche game because Warhammer 40K, but they average about 10 to 11K. Usually, even during their worst times. Like right now, they're sitting pretty on about 20 to 30K. It's going to drop off in a little while once people get bored of the new update. But yeah, you know, TFD, like hopefully after this new update, we hop back up to about 30K-ish. I can be satisfied with that. If we don't hop back to 30K-ish, I'll start worrying. But I think we'll be okay. I predict, at least, we're going to hop back up to about 30K-ish again, which I'm looking forward to. Most people clear the content. They'll be done in about 5 days. Bada bing, bada boom, you know, there you go. But brainlessly running melee style is exactly what this game should have been about, because we already brainlessly run around with skills. We already brainlessly run around with restored relic. So why couldn't we have done that with melee? It would have been a change up. You know, sure, we're still running around brainlessly, but hey, at least we're doing it with something different. So instead of just gun or skills, at least we have melee. If melee was viable, it would have worked really well. Everybody calls me RAR. Why would I feel weird? Why would I worry about you calling me that? That's literally my name. Date for the implementation of swords this Thursday. Now, this Thursday, I've got a family event. So you guys will see me on in the morning. I'll rush to my family event and I'll rush back afterward. And I'll stream again. So I won't be able to stream the update as soon as it hits, but I will be here. Do I think this will buff the slower descendants? No. Why would it buff slower descendants? If you want to buff slower descendants, you just get sprint speed on your weapons, on your guns, and that's your running stick. I would feel that the sword would be scaled for damage if you want to use it for that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, though, Cassius. That's like literally exactly what you're supposed to enjoy. You're supposed to be able to enjoy power play like that. We never had melee modules, no. At least if you're talking about special... Oh, sorry, you're talking about sub-attack modules. We have those, but they're unused. Like, nobody would ever use a sub-attack module. So maybe they'll rework them in future, because with the introduction of actual melee weapons, I hope that they'll rework the sub-attack modules. I think they're going stage by stage. But yeah, right now nobody uses them, so they do have to rework that. I mean, there was a couple of people that used to use them. Like, some people did it for flavor. Like, they'll just dash in and, you know, like, kick. But yeah, whatever. Well, Hypernauts, look, I'm a very straightforward and normal human being. So just address me by my name and it's totally okay. Like, in fact, it's super weird if you say, do you mind if I call you that? It's like, bro, what is this? This a formal meeting? No, it's a stream, man. It's like a normal stream where I just talk to people. Why the hell would I be worried about that? The only time I worry about it is if somebody walks up and calls me by some racist name, then I'd worry about it. Like, come on, you gotta make sense, right? So Whether it's your first time at my stream or second time at my stream, dude, my name is RealAsianRobot. It's Robot. People call me RAR. Just call me whatever the hell you want. As long as it's not racist or problematic. Like, this is just how normal social interaction works. It's really, really weird if you have to ask permission to call somebody something. Who does that? Like, which streamer says, excuse me, I've got a specific name? Like, bro, if a streamer says that, then, you know, that streamer is a fucking idiot. And I normally don't swear, but seriously, I'm pissed off. Honestly, you'd have to be the world's dumbest streamer to require that. The only thing I have a problem with is when people call me Asian because it sounds racial to begin with. Like, there are other things you can call me. You can call me real, you can call me robot. So other than that, it doesn't really bother me, you know? That's exactly the problem, though, Hypernauts. I hate that these days you never know. It should be known. This is how normal social interaction works. The reason why things are so bad and stupid these days is because we allowed stupid people to have their say and feel offended over stupid things. If everybody would just shut up and, you know, accept that, look, maybe you don't have a right to be offended because you are a 70 IQ nobody, then I think the world would be a much happier place, all right? Because I will tell you straight up, I absolutely hate the fact that you never know these days. That is the worst thing that has come out of our society, because it used to be back in the old days, I could just joke around with friends and it wouldn't be a problem. Heck, I actually don't mind on a personal level if you call me Asian, but here's the problem. YouTube takes it seriously because it's racial. So due to all these rules, I have to act differently than I normally would, which is really weird. So yeah, honestly, I long for the old days where people who were, shall we say, too dumb to decide things for themselves never had a voice, and the ones like myself with 140 IQ were the ones speaking and deciding things for them, as it should be, because these people would probably choke to death on their own shoelaces given half the time. Sorry, given half the decision-making power that they have these days. But anyway, mini tangent rant over. Let's get back to the point. I think that what they have done now with the swords, and about the high damage, I did see the high damage as well, but we don't know if they tested on a level 260 enemy, and also faction matters. We don't know if they were using elemental advantage. I will test it independently as soon as I farm the sword. Once I farm the swords, which I will absolutely do on stream, day one, I will show you guys like what they can do. We'll have a full video explaining it and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Listen, if they're gonna work on endgame content next year, it's totally cool with me. I don't mind. I've got other games to play and I've got other partnerships coming up. I'm always busy, you know? Unfortunately, yes, South Goblin, I am well aware of all this. You know, all the dystopian societies, I tell you, one day we're gonna end up in Mega City 1. Alright? And you know why Mega City 1's gonna be a problem? Because I'm gonna be running the Justice Department as a sentient AI that has been put into a machine. I will literally be a ghost in a machine at that point. All right? And when I'm in charge of the Justice Department, you guys are all gonna have a big problem. Not because I'm gonna be a terrible dictator or a badass, no, but it's actually because I'll be righteous and fair for once. And funnily enough, righteous and fair goes pretty bad for most people in these days. Have you seen how disrespectful the new generations are? Like, if we were to implement righteous and fair, all right, the new generation is going to end up getting their eyes popped, their ears boxed half the time. It's going to end real badly for them. So I see a lot of people, all right, who are going to go into ISO cubes. Those of you who are fans of Judge Dredd, you know what I'm talking about, all right? And remember, vote RealAsianRobot as head judge of Mega City 1. I will keep your streets safe by keeping the riff-raff off it. Anyway, okay, jokes aside, all right? I won't have any problems. I'm already unworthy. Anyway, okay, look. What I will say is that hard facts, right? Swords have ammo. We can't change that. What matters is how we can actually make this exciting. I think they have elemental modules. I'm pretty sure they're going to use the same modules that guns use. So I was thinking of some potential builds that we could have. Like maybe we could use like a skill-based Descendant with the heavy sword, right? And we use it to annihilate the boss at the end. But then the boss have multiple life bars. I'm not sure how many sword swings I'm going to need to charge that up, so that's a bit of a problem. I'll have to see how much damage the green sword does with the gap closer as well. But then again, why wouldn't I just blast him with one shot of Iness's ability? Okay, never mind. Scrap that idea. Next idea. Maybe Bunny. But Bunny has her new fusion skill. Oh my god. Okay, Bunny doesn't work either. Gley, the issue is that maybe I'd have to go hybrid to build with Gley. I didn't see the full live stream, so if she gets changes, good. At least there's something there as well. Well, Selena, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, most likely it's going to be same modules, at least to my best of my knowledge. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep an open mind. I'll try and figure something out. I mean, I'll build the sword. I just need to figure something out for... Risk walk. Ammo. Ammo's the problem though, Austin. Unless I bring an extendo. I could bring an extendo. I could convert one of the swords into an extendo and then use that when picking up ammo. But yeah, Haley could, I guess. Eternal crit with sword. I mean, Gley is already pretty much an unspoken rule. Oh my god, my freaking berries, come on. Don't stick to the bottom. Anyway, checking in with the poll, almost 30% are still hyped and excited. Okay, okay. For the 30% who are still hyped and excited, you know, I hope it pans out the way it does. Because one thing which I'll tell you guys is don't be a fanboy. This is for the 30% that are still hyped and excited. I'm going to say it right now. Don't be a fanboy. Don't be a fangirl. Sometimes you have to admit when things have a problem. Because if you don't, then things just carry on and get worse and worse. If you don't actually stand up for yourself and say what you actually want, yeah, things don't go well. So to the 30% that are still hyped and excited, I wish you well. But, no, we're talking solely swords, South Goblin. We're talking solely swords. If you're hyped for QOL, that has nothing to do with this. You need to vote properly on the swords. If there's a new battle pass, I mean, it is what it is. I'll just get chat to fund it, see if anyone wants me to get the good stuff. If they do, then okay. If not, then so okay. I'm a relaxed kind of guy about that. How you doing today, Don? But yeah, I don't know. Technically, bullshit is swearing. Mr. No Swear Gaming. Sorry, just checking your name there. I found it kind of funny that the first statement is, you know, with ammo bullshit concepts. But anyway, I do hear you on that. Nobody's liking this idea, but there's still apparently 28% of people who are still hyped and excited. I wish them well. I really do. I salute them. And well, yeah. One second, replying to text. The other people that I talked to that played Destiny 2 all said swords were niche. During my time with Destiny 2, it was also niche. So I don't think they'll be OP here. I mean, if the ammo concept is bullshit, Mr. No Swear Gaming, then, you know, do you really think they'll turn out to be OP? I think they'll be OP for the same niche characters that can circumvent ammo, such as Gley and the like, but I don't think it's going to happen here because Gley could probably use it on Colossi to slam down and smoke them, but we'll see. Excuse me. Arc Raiders is going to be a weird one. I don't know if I'll play it or even look at it. If they hire me, then sure, but otherwise, nah. That's exactly my point, No Swear Gaming. I feel like everyone was hyped for Melee, but they didn't add an actual Melee to the game. They just added something that resembles Melee, but it's just a gun, a close-range gun. Exactly, and they should do those changes, Danny. It doesn't matter how many code changes are required. You do that for your players. I feel like they were rushing this too much, and then they ran out of time and just said, okay, we'll plonk this down and change it later. They seem to do that with a lot of things. Reactors at first in the game were so restrictive. Then they changed it to just general weapon classes. Now they're completely removing the weapon classes at all. So it's like, come on. At the end of the day, I can tell that they are trying to improve quality over time, which is good. That's what we want. But to me, at least, I feel like they're doing a weird job of it because why? I'd rather they release something more holistic and complete. If they're going to release anything at all. To me, at least, that's important. See, South Goblin, that's something I have to defend them on. Who is the actual player base? Who is the actual player base? Because a lot of us, I would consider us actual players, but we may not be seen as part of the actual player base because right now I'm playing other games. Well, No Swear Gaming, that's how quality of life changes are. I'd say I spent the resources at the time to get an advantage to just digital resources, not real cash. So it's fine. I don't really care or mind. Like, to me, I feel that that's completely fine. I think quality of life is always good. So I don't worry about, you know, oh, my resources were wasted. We've got billions of resources in this game. I'm not even worried. You know, Danny, I actually agree with that. They should have started with the sub-attacks first, given the sub-attacks like combos to make them actually viable over the grappling modules, and then they could have worked their way up there to like actual melee weapons. That would be cool. I'm not against mini games and things like that. But I would prefer it if we could do something in the lounge with our descendants, like play a game of chess against them or something. It would have been alright. I see, Keyshawn. Well, that's when they should have, I don't know, explained it to players. But I hear you on that. They, rather than helping players to understand, just eliminating the factor, which, I don't know. It seems lazy to me, but we'll see how it plays out. That's exactly the feeling, Joe. You're right. That's exactly the feeling. I feel like they shove it into the game straight away and then fine-tune it later on. Which to me is a little awkward, because it's not the best way to do things. I feel like they just say, okay, we gotta have this, and then boom. They throw it in, and then after players complain or hell lets loose, the director apologizes. He writes another apology letter or whatever, and then says, we understand that it was not up to scratch. We will do better in future. We're still refining the game, so thank you for your continued support, and we'll carry on. Which is fair, fine. But at the same time, yeah, it does feel like they're just putting in half-baked ideas into the game, which is exactly what it feels like here. Because I certainly don't see a full-baked idea coming out of this. Well, to be fair, Carterville, most of their changes are leveling it down so that the more inept players can complete stuff. Do you know that there's still people that are like, Axion Plains is so hard? I'm like, did you try any of my builds? And they never reply. I reply to them on YouTube saying, did you check any of my builds? And none of them ever reply. Yeah, I wanted them to lean into the open world concept. But you guys have seen a truly open world with Borderlands 4. And, yeah, the so-called open world we have here, not really very open. Thanks, Marshall. You know I will. I still make some good money from TFD. Well, when the crowd super chats, but, you know, I leave that to them whenever they're ready. Either way, I'm just here to support the community and support the content as much as I can. Yeah, that mission is fun, but it's useless and ineffective. That's why I never do it. Because even if I want to do it, it just doesn't reward me at all. So it is kind of fun, but not rewarding, which is my big problem.
Keep it short and sweet.
I wonder.
Before you hurt yourself, make sure you get my permission, please.
Sure, Eugen. I'll ask permission before I hurt myself. Couple of updates down, I think, Austin. Yeah, I think having seen Borderlands 4, I really want them to do something like that. You know, just a nice little world I can explore. Sometimes you find a Rift champion randomly and you feel good about it. Like, I think they need to do that, but we have no loot to get anyway, so. At least in Borderlands 4, I go for it because I might get a legendary out of one of them as I bum around the world. It feels fun, you know? As I'm doing my stuff, as I'm running around, you know, it feels cool. Feels awesome. Awesome feels. That's how I feel about it anyway. I do agree, they definitely need more like that, but I think that is something that'll come over time. We can't really do much about it for now. For now. Okay. Now the chat has slowed down, let's do some gameplay. Just so that I have something to show you guys while we keep talking. And of course, super chatters will receive music. If you want to see more TFT content, super. So that I can also get my 4K webcam. I'm counting on you guys, alright? Marshall PG, first and foremost, have you checked my mastery rank guide? You don't need help to get mastery rank 18, dude. And if you want to play with me, I only play with my top tier supporters, so sorry, bud. Unless you want to become a top tier channel member, a top supporter, you won't ever be playing with me. And that's not to be mean to anyone, it's because I work with a lot of different games, so the people that I run with are literally my crew. They've proven their loyalty time and time again, and that's how they get to play with me. So you want to join me, you gotta show that you're ride and die for me, like you're literally live and die for me. If you're not, then, well, not trying to be mean, but there's no hope of us playing. Also, I will tell you honestly, the one thing I cannot stand is a person that it's their first time I've ever met them, and the first thing is that they want to play. But after that, they never ever come back or show real support. That's what always irks me about a lot of people as well. So I hope you understand that. The people I hate the most are always those that say, oh, Robot, can we play? I tell them no, because they're not even real supporters in the first place. You know, they haven't shown me that they're ride or die for me. And then you never see them again. They're not here every day at my streams. They don't spend all their time here. That's sad, man. How are you going to play with a streamer if you're not spending your life with that streamer? You know? And that's something I want to honestly tell people, because that's how my people get to play with me. Do you know that Truffles, I mean, you guys, those of you who know him, you've seen him at a lot of my shows. He often games with me on certain games. Not like Dark Tide and stuff. That one's more like BVS and Star. But Truffles has known me for literally 5 years of his life. He was here when I first started the channel, and he's only recently been starting to play with me more. So that's how it is, you know. You gotta love your streamer. You gotta really show that you're down for your streamer if you want to roll with it. Well, I look forward to it. If you show that you're a top tier supporter, good. I want to see you at all the shows. I want to see you every day, no matter what I'm doing. That's the way to show real support, because that's how my people get in good with me. I usually don't play anything I'm not sponsored to play, so unless I see very, very high player counts, Mark, or unless I see that it's the world's most popular game, I'm probably not going to bother too much. I might try it out once or twice, but we'll see. I'm not really a big fan of that kind of game, but we'll see. That's okay, Jexter. Not making much interaction is fine. If you just want to lurk and enjoy the show, that's totally cool. The only interaction I expect are from those that literally they're going for that top tier supporter spot. You know? But those that are top tier supporters usually interact anyway, because this place becomes like a family to them. And I do treat them like family anyway. Yes, it is. The playlist of videos is where you need to go if you want to learn. Ooh, rough to hear that, John. But hopefully it was somebody else's termination and your company is going fine. And hopefully it wasn't anybody you cared about. So you can just give them Das Boot.
Deploying arcade. I am the original.
Yep, lurking, just watching, not interacting, totally still support, man. Yeah, that's totally cool. That's called lurking. Go for it. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Even worse when you're self-employed like me. You gotta drag yourself up no matter how you're feeling, and then just work. Because that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, just gonna do my dailies and go bum around Axion Plains. And of course, if anyone wants music, you know what to do. Throw a little something on stage and I'll show you some wild stuff. Yeah, of course I will, Mark. I will still build the swords. I'll still test them out, you know, see if they're worth your time. But if they're not, like, super meta, you probably won't see me using them often. I still need to do Serena, but I've been so demotivated considering I've got all these other games to play. I don't know, man. Like, Darktide's been fun again. I want to get Austin to join me one of these days so we can roll some damnations. You know? I'll even play on NA. But yeah. You need to get cooked more than once by me, I tell you that much. All of you need to be cooked like ramen noodles constantly, I tell you that much. Okay, Dawn especially has earned the title of Ultimate Gooness. If this were an Expedition 33 world, I tell you, we won't be fighting the Paintress. No, we'll go and stop the Gooness from making even more skimpy outfits for characters. When Eugen actually becomes worth using, I will, I swear. I know, right? Every time I looked at it, I'm like, I should do this now. But I'm like, is there any reason for me to do so? Ah! But swords! Serena is gonna be, because swords have ammo. Might be time, Austin. That actually does give me a good reason for it. Because it might finally be time for me to actually bother, because I'm gonna need to use swords with her. Yeah, this is Valby. Same crit Valby build that I have for her for Season 3. Nothing changed. Exactly the problem, though, Hypernauts. Ultimate Luna just set the bar on fun so high that it's hard for me to play other Descendants because Ultimate Luna is just so much fun. Like when I play around with Ultimate Luna, right? It's just hilarious amounts of fun that I get to experience because all I need to do, legit, is just all I need to do is just go wander around Axion Plains. I can play my K-pop. I can play my Viking music, you know? And she's fun. I think balance is no longer something we need to worry about because look, it's clear that they're just going to lean into power fantasy, which is good. That's not a bad thing. It's not inherently a bad thing. But it also means that everything they create has to be brought up to a certain standard, so they have very little wiggle room.
Oh my.
Hound actual to HQ.
Yeah, see, now that might be one of the reasons to actually bother using Battlefield Artists. I actually didn't know anything about it, but I'm more than willing to try it out. I haven't had a reason to even play Battlefield Artists, but why not, you know? Well, thanks. Actually, if we die at Wall Crasher, it's because we don't really care. Like, I just usually use a death reset if I have to die, but most of the time, you know, if I don't die, it's totally cool. If I do die, it's totally cool. I'm actually very, very relaxed about it. I am a relaxed man. Just because I'm lazy. I've heard it's decent, but I haven't had any motivation to play it, so. Okay. Now let's go bum around Axion Plain since I got ain't nothing better to do. Well, yeah. Like, we were all suspecting that swords were gonna be not so good if they copied Destiny 2 style. Everybody was filled with hopium, and now they're all filled with copium. Because the amount of people coping is pretty wild. And look, I respect their cope, but for me, it's still a big ass nope. I can respect their cope as much as they want, but I don't know. I still think that they're not exactly doing a fantastic job. At least to the best of my knowledge. Well, Marshall PG, keep checking the streams and you'll see what games I recommend. If you see me playing it, I probably recommend it. Unless I'm just doing like a stream for a dev or something, then I'll usually give my recommendation during or after. But is there actually anyone here? Oh, 3 people. Okay. Yeah, that's why I say it's very important. If you want to show real support, it's not just watching the streams, the TFD streams. You watch them all. Because I play a huge variety. If I see you all the time at my streams, you don't have to talk the whole time, just say hello at least. But if I see you at all my streams, now that's how I know somebody's really supporting. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do things here. Austin, Baron, John, you'll see them no matter what I'm streaming. That's how I know that they're my boys, you know? Hey, super. Great, now I have an excuse to play music. Hang on, I'll thank you properly in a second. Oh, John. What we rolling? New version of AD?
Descendant, there is a tactical objective.
New version of Headbanger?
Requesting
Doing some
confirmation.
Viking stuff? What's your poison today, Jono? Thanks for getting the ball rolling. Always appreciative of the people with super chats. Now, we're still a while away from the 4K webcam, but I've decided to set smaller goals so people feel more comfortable meeting them.
Protection target nearby. Confirm.
Now, I'm really glad to hear that you like the new AD. I was a little worried about how it would sound, you know? Since the new AI is a bit less gritty, but if you like it, that's all that matters. Because I know I can trust your taste on my military rock. I'm looking forward to making more music once I get some releases done this week. I'm definitely going to be making a release for Anatomy of Withering right after the stream, but hell yeah. Yeah, I made the new version of AD, man. New AI, you know how I made a new version of Headbanger? Same thing. But I'll play it after this round. We already discussed that on the previous stream, so you can go back and have a look for the full information mark. Again, this is why you don't want to ever miss streams, because you miss streams, you miss out on a lot of the good discussions. But I've already said everything I have to say on it. Suffice to say, it's just another skin. Sure, it looks cool, but look, the only point to it is that if you really want to wear it, then fine. But if not, then eh. As always, I will see what chat wants to put me in. If chat wants to see me in the skin, they'll see me in the skin. If they don't want to see me in the skin, they won't see me in the skin. End of story. stream room invasion has occurred. Oh, lol. I'm not even in my own stream room. Ha! That makes a lot of sense. I was wondering for a second. But I probably need to reset my sound on Discord because yesterday night I was having date night with Kaz and I was using my earbuds instead, so
Primary tactical objective
me see.
confirmed. Requesting search
There we
and
go.
destroy.
Discord sounds are now swapped appropriately. Hello, Viper on standby. Foxy is dealing with a family situation right now, so she won't be around until it's better. She is safe and fine, but yeah, she's got a bit of a situation that she needs to handle right now. I've been keeping contact with her regularly, so don't you guys worry too much about that. All right, it's time for some new AD. And I'll start off with 7.6. You know what I realized though, John? If you play 7.6 and 6.2 back to back, they actually sound really good. So let's do that right now. Guys, ready for some military rock?
A large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area.
Having a good day, Viper. How about you? Yeah, here comes the rock chug. She's all right. She's all right. Her family's fine now.
This'll be your new home now.
Here's a bit.
But the blue-eyed boy was raised in the South with a front porch swing
And a dirt road route.
all the friends that I had moved on, and all the family I had were gone. I called them up and they never answer. I guess I'm just a stranger to them now. There's a picture of a soldier on the wall. They say thanks for your service, son. But the man in the mirror's not the same. Not the man I was before the war. And every day I wake up with the shakes. I'm back there every night, and I can't escape. And I don't understand why I'm here. When I saw
Sorry, Flex. The discussion's already finished. You can watch the stream back if you want to hear our discussion on it. But I've said all I have to already.
my mind and for my heart,
Please respond.
they never do a thing except make me feel worse. And the man in the mirror stares back at me and says, the answer's at the bottom of a bottle. There's a picture of a soldier on the wall. They say thanks for your service, son. But the man in the mirror's not the same. Not the man I was before the war.
I'll pass on your well wishes, Baron. Don't worry. We don't do that, Native 21. That's against the rules. Why would I carry somebody? Like, no. Look, if you want to play with me, you be a top supporter. That's all. I'm actually going to pause that because that's one of the most disgusting things that I ever heard. All right? Don't be the type of person that says, how much would a carry cost to get a carry through the game? That is hyper offensive. Do you even understand that, Mr. Native 21? If you're going to troll me in that manner, I will throw you out of the stream without doubt or question. Okay? So don't ever behave in that manner or act in that manner. That's disgusting. We don't do that here. We're not some carry service, and if you ever treat me like one, I will ensure that you never ever get to watch my stream again. Are we clear on that? If you ever want to play with me, you become a top supporter, and either way, with an attitude like that, I don't think you're ever going to become a top supporter. So don't ever behave that manner. Yeah. That is the worst thing you can ever ask any streamer. I am not some boosting service. I am not somebody that people can just pay to carry through the game. What the hell? I play with my top supporters because they're my friends. They're my people. They're my crew. They're like family to me. All right, because they've shown that they're ride or die for my content. But you ever come up with that kind of line, with some jank ass line like that, you will never be a part of a Robot Nation stream. I hope you're clear on that. I can't stand people like that, I tell you. Like, they say, how much would it cost to get carried through the game? It's like, bro, dude, don't treat somebody like a boosting service. Like, have some respect for the person. If you got no respect for me, then why would I have any respect for you? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't like people like that. Anyway, now that I'm done with the Colossi, how much time do I have left? 5 more minutes. I can get one more run in. Time to play the other version of AD. So, here we go. Normally, the only ones that say it, John, are trolls. They're just trying to, you know, essentially poke a streamer. Like, because they're like, oh, if I throw money at the streamer, they're like some cheap whore. You know, they'll just do whatever I say. I'm not like that.
This will be your new home now. Here's a bed.
If they wanted to support me, they'd be super chatting. They'd be donating. Simple. They wouldn't ask. They ask these questions to be assholes. But for now, enjoy the song.
All the friends that I had moved on, and all the family I had were gone. I called them up and they never answer. I guess I'm just a stranger to them now. There's a picture of a soldier on the wall. They say thanks for your service, son. But the man in the mirror's not the same. Not the man I was before the war.
There is a tactical objective which needs to be destroyed.
Of course it does.
Requesting confirmation.
Treating somebody without respect is disgusting, Nicholas. Of course it makes them assholes. If you respect somebody, you treat them with respect.
I'm back there every night, and I can't escape. And I don't understand why I'm here when I saw better men die over there. I take pills for my mind and for my heart.
That's not a question you ask a streamer.
They never do a thing except make me feel worse.
So, no, you are being super disrespectful.
Mirror stares back at me and says,
And I explain why.
the answer's at the bottom of a bottle. There's a picture of a soldier on the wall. They say thanks for your service, son. But the man in the mirror's not the same. Not the man I was before the war.
They are, Ozzy. Now, thanks for enjoying AD, but yeah, they are adding sword. It's not my personal feelings on the subject, Mr. Native 21 Rogue. Alright, I'm gonna give you one more chance, but I'm just gonna explain it one more time. When you ask a streamer, how much for a carry, bro? You are treating me like some cheap convenience store item that you just pick off the shelf. Like, oh, if I pay him this much, he'll carry me. That is absolutely disgusting, Native 21 Rogue, and I suggest you apologize before you are perma-banned. It's not my personal feelings on the subject. You don't do that to any streamer. Tell me, if I was a big and famous streamer, would you walk up to me and say, hey man, how much for a carry? My bodyguard, especially for those big and famous streamers, or my moderators would straight up just throw you out of stream, ban you for life or whatever. I'm actually giving you a chance to apologize by explaining where you went wrong. Instead of apologizing, you're trying to say, I didn't know your personal feelings on the subject. It's not personal feelings. It's disrespect. Because if you respect a streamer for what they do, if you enjoy my content and you respect me as a content creator, you enjoy me for the content, you don't attach a price tag on things. You should be super chatting or donating because you like what I do. That's what you should be doing. It should not be, hey bro, how much for a carry? You know? When you ask like that, it already means that you view me as somebody cheap. You basically are doing this because you think there's going to be no consequences because maybe I'm not big enough in your eyes or whatever. Okay? And that is what is absolutely disgusting behavior. If you want to support a streamer, show real support. If you want to be a dick, don't come to my streams, don't talk to me. Plain and simple, okay? It's not just a question. And if you don't know that you've gone wrong, just say, look, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I understand, I apologize. But you just, keep wanting to say and defend yourself. That's not how you do that. It's not a question. I straight up told you, it's disrespect. I am not a convenience store item. You don't pick me up off the shelf for a price. Those whom I game with, those who run with me, they're not carried, FYI. I mean, whether they are or not would be irrelevant. I play with them because they're family. So what you do is you start by treating me with the same respect. You treat me like family. Show that you love my content. Show that you're here for the content. Show that you're here for the Robot Nation. Prove that you are a part of it, and you'll have all of us to game with. But show that you are just some guy treating me as a cheap, convenient item, and we're gonna have a big problem. Alright, so yeah. Let's be clear on that. And yes, please don't stir the pot, guys. I've said what I have to as a streamer. I'm gonna move on from this subject straight away because it's not worth debating any further. But just remember, how you treat others is how others will treat you. If you show genuine support and love for somebody, they will show that love and support back. That's how the world works. That's why I hang with my people. That's why I hang with my family. Alright, and if you're Robot Nation, you're either part of the family or you're not. And those that are not, well, they just don't get to join in the activities. You might meet me in public, that's fine, but you don't get to join in like family do. You can't do Wall Crasher solo, no. You have to do it with other people. There's no solo queue mechanic. So unfortunately, there's no way to enter solo unless you coordinate with other people and they all leave when you enter. Then I guess that could work, but most people aren't going to do that, not in public anyway. So most people just go in, play the Wall Crasher, and get out. 1.4 bill, love Luna. 1/4 of his hit points in 1 minute and 30 seconds. I dig it. I think that's beautiful. But anyway, thank you guys for understanding my stance on this. And as for the swords, they are adding swords to the game October 1st, just so you guys know. But they will have ammo, which is we are finding is a bit strange and weird because we're like, why should swords have ammo? So that was the debate earlier. If you missed it, Ozzy, you can rewind the stream to start and then come watch the live again later. Or, I mean, it's up to you what you want to do, but we did a lot of the discussion of it at the start of stream already, and we talked a lot about our feelings on swords. Why is there ammo? But ultimately, look, summary for everyone that's late to the stream. We think that the swords are cool, but the fact that they have ammo is a bit of a limiting factor, and because there's a limiting factor, it doesn't feel as good as it should. Like, it does feel a little bit silly. So that's how we feel about it overall. And that's why, like, we had the poll today. Currently, most people are in agreement, but surprisingly, 31% of people are still hyped and excited for the swords. But, you know, I think they're either on copium or hopium, but we'll see. No problem. She is one of the most fun Descendants, and yeah, it's making it very hard to play other Descendants because I just like putting on the music and off I go, you know. I'm not sure what weapons Warframe has because, like I said, I don't play, and normally I don't even allow mention of that game on my stream. Today's a special day, though, because you do have to talk about it when you're talking Melee. But I am disappointed overall that they added ammo in, which is genuinely an issue.
New super chat received.
Hey, thanks, Baron. I'll play the new one that you like, Whisper of the Serpent. That might be suitable. That might be very suitable for you. But no problem. Also, John, pick something after AD. If you have anything else that you want. Technically, it is possible to kill the Wall Crasher entirely solo. It just would require a bit of effort. I reckon my Luna could do it in about 6 minutes-ish, but I might die twice. Roughly, I think I would die twice. Yeah. No, absolutely, South Goblin. I think this is one of the few circumstances where I'll agree. Auto reload trigger module? What? What auto reload trigger module are you talking about? Hold up. Is there something that I'm not understanding? Which one has auto reload? Oh, tactical acceleration. No, I haven't played Enzo at all, so I haven't used this at all. I'm sure it's cool, but I haven't used it. No. Because I haven't played Enzo. Maybe with the swords, I might try it out, yeah? You know, it seems like something I do. But I think that'll be pretty cool. But anyway, I'll let John pick whatever he wants next while I play something for Baron. Let's head back into the Axian Plains while I search for a nice little reactor. No problem, Flex. Baron, you dare betray the family and get excited? How could you? But you know what? I hear you on that. I understand.
Descendant.
If only you
I
played
picked up a
Darktide.
mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby.
Okay, now then, while we head in, ladies and gents, I'm about to play something noisy for Baron. All right? No, there's no reload for the swords, no. But I might still try it with Enzo because I'd be forced to build Enzo anyway, so I could have a gun and then a sword is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Anatomy of Withering? Absolutely. Sounds good. But first, ladies and gents, here is Whispers of the Serpent. But yeah, although there's no actual reload for the swords, just do take note that it is, it would still be used as a supplement with other weapons. I'm assuming if I'm using Enzo, because I probably can't just use one thing, you know what I'm saying? You know? So, that's why. Anyway, let's rock. This is gonna get noisy. No problem, Ozzy. Those of you that aren't into the heavy stuff, you better shut your ears, because it's about to get wild. Whispers of the Serpent, people. Well, that is true.
A serpent coiled within the mind. A silver tongue, a truth you'll find. It speaks in voices soft and low. Of fruits forbidden where they grow.
Stolen glance, a burning touch. I promise you want so much. The gates of one to heavy chain, unlocked for pleasure and for pain. The aura of vice, a sweet perfume.
To dance within the blackened realm.
A hand that reaches through the dark.
To extinguish my sacred spark.
The thirst of flesh, the use of soul.
As I lose all control.
For those are broken, shattered in lies.
A willing victim to this disguise. The gilded cage, it calls your name. To feel the fire of this game. The path to ruin paved with gold. A wicked story to be told.
Each step you take, a deeper fall. Until you answer to the call. The final sin, a bitter kiss. A surrender to the abyss.
A whisper becomes a shout. And there is now.
A hand that reaches through the dark.
To extinguish
Not by
my
much.
sacred spark.
The thirst of flesh, the lust of soul.
As I lose all control.
The vows are broken, shattered lies.
A willing victim to this disguise.
I feel the chains begin to bind, to leave my former self behind. A shadowed world, a velvet touch. I've given up, I want this much.
The final sin, the crush.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, how I let my weakness grow.
Not the temptation.
Hope you enjoyed that. Anatomy of Withering will be played next. Also, South Goblin, why is this so comically small? It's because this is a little glass. It's teeny tiny glass that is just designed for a little bit of ginger. It's literally just a shot of ginger to help with my digestion. Also eases the throat, things like that. But it's a pure herbal drink, so it will kill you. Like, it tastes pretty rough, but it's good for your health. Anyway, I hope those answer the questions. Welcome to the show, Sean. And I hope you guys enjoy what we're about to do. We're about to kick it off again, so please enjoy. And enjoy the next song, which is Anatomy of Withering. The new version. I hope you like it.
Focus
Thanks, Marshall.
The melody unseen, no fever, no scar. The slow cold erosion of who you are. Cellular treason, a silent decree. The atrophy starts in the will to be. My blood runs like acres, stagnant and thick. In this crumbling vast, all the clock ceases to tick.
Statue of sorrow and marble I cast upon your memory that bound to know.
The muscles refuse, the synapses fail. A silent scream lost in a voiceless gale. Breather, a necrosis of the souls inside. Decay, where stagnant rivers of volition pine. Paralyzed mind on a throne of dust. My bones are a temple of ruin and rust. This anatomy of rot is all that I am. Mortals and vita, Clemo in silencio.
Sun is a myth, I no longer recall. My reflection is dust on a
Same.
mausoleum wall. Each breath is a labor, a mechanical flaw. In defiance of nature's most fundamental law.
To live is to move, to act, to desire. But my lips are of lead and my heart has no fire. Wither, a necrosis of the sun. Decay, with stagnant rivers of illicit time. Paralyzed mind on a throne of dust.
My bones are a temple of ruin and Was there a time the heart could beat so fast? A breath of ambition on the coming blast. I search for a memory of motion of light in the endless expanse of this personal night. But the silence answers with a whole
No, I like them all, Ziggy.
face. There is nothing left in this desolate place.
Descendant, a large cluster of breach creatures has been detected in the area. Descendant, there's a tactical objective that requires protection. Please confirm. Bogus special assault ship identified. Bogus special assault ship spotted. Descendant, there is a tactical objective which needs to be destroyed. Requesting confirmation.
Here, I have a bonus, guys. Oops. Press the wrong button. I'm negative because I love the game, Triple C's.
But you know it's never easy. Ever since you went away, we both know that's not the case. It's a promise you can't break. You said you'd never go away, but you know it's never easy. I know you know it's never easy. But it don't seem that way. I can see the words in your face. But it don't seem that way. I can see the words in your face. But it don't seem that way. I can see the words in your face. But it don't seem that way. I can see the words in your face.
Now then, hope you guys enjoyed that little bonus. Oops, sorry. It moved to the next track. But what I will say is that you say I am one negative dude, why play? Then why do you care what I have to say? Why are you even watching me? The fact of the matter is, just because somebody has a negative take on something doesn't mean they don't love the game or hope for the best. We're being negative because we are hoping for better. We're fighting for you. We're doing the job for you. So actually, you should be thanking everybody who's negative. The people who sit and smile and say, everything's fine, that's great, yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, look, if you're more than happy to be a small, tiny sheep just being fed slop, sorry, it's not sheep that's fed slop, pigs. Pigs are fed slop. If you're happy to be a pig getting fed slop, that's fine. But some of us actually want something better for you guys, and that's the whole point. So, negativity isn't inherently bad. What we're here to do is make everything better. We're not here to take away your favorite toy. We're here to improve your favorite toy, FYI. We know what went wrong with other things because other people have said as much. They don't like it, they're not happy, so we're trying to help.
Descendant, there is a tactical objective which needs to be.
And this, look, with regards to the skins, right, Don, what I have to say is that I kind of agree with you on what they're saying with the skins being too much. Like, I felt they should have had more universal skins rather than having the individual skins because it feels like a big cash grab around Halloween. And Halloween is almost like Christmas for a lot of people. It's a very tight time for money. So, I don't know, like, although I normally fund every single skin by saying, hey, chat, super chat, and we'll fund the skins and I'll buy them and wear them live, I actually, for the first time, don't feel... Joshua, please do not name other creators on my stream. We should do that. We shouldn't do that because if we name other creators, whether positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It can create drama because all it takes is one idiot with room temperature IQ to clip something out of context and say, oh, he was talking trash about this other creator. Look, they're even named on his stream. So please do not name other creators when you're at my stream. It's a safety rule to ensure that we don't get tied up in any drama or things like that. So I hope you understand. And yes, constructive criticism is actually a thing because guess what? That's what happens all the time. Do you know that in my music, now only those in the private family Discord will know this, but I actually recently have been asking for more opinions about my music so I can tailor it better for my audience. Like whenever I've got a metal track, I usually ask Baron, Lewis for his opinions. And if I need like advice on hip hop, I'll ask Lewis, things like that. I like to find out what my people think because at the end of the day, you can't think within a vacuum. And when you only surround yourself with people who say yes to everything you do, you're not going to evolve or progress. You have to take the good with the bad. Now, at the same time, I'm also not one that will listen to somebody that you know, doesn't offer me any value. So I do get it why some people feel like, oh, you know, if you're negative, then just why are you here? Don't bother, right? But, you know, you got to look at it both ways. The fact of the matter is, we're negative and we're only behaving negatively because we feel negatively about it. We want these updates to be the best they can be, not half-baked slop. Give you an example, Dawn of War 4, a lot of people are hyped for Dawn of War 4 because we love the Dawn of War series, but the voice acting was so bad. Like, it looked like AI slop. And I said as much on their Twitter. Doesn't mean I don't love the series and I'm not going to play it when it comes out. It's one of the few series I play without a sponsorship because I love it. I'm still playing the Dawn of War 1 after they released the remaster. It's my downtime game, you know? But to me, I would still criticize it left, right, and center.
Objective confirmed. Requesting search and destroy.
Well, thank you for the offer, Ozzy. You'd have to be a top supporter in the private Discord to give your opinion, but I hear you. Thank you. Oops. I forgot he wasn't dead. I accidentally froze him and he T-posed for a second. Bad my. There we go. But yeah, the skins were not that impressive in my personal opinion. Like, they look cool, they look cute, but the fact is that if it becomes a big resource drain for my people, I'm not gonna go for it. Anyway, big thank you to John and Baron for the lovely super chats and kicking things off today. All right. And for those that think I'm one negative dude, please go watch a creator that's non-negative so that you guys can follow some yes man. All right, till the bitter end, and you won't get your sensibilities offended. All right, because I'm gonna always stand up for what's right. I'm going to always be here, talking, standing up for what I believe our people deserve. Because what our people deserve are good skins, lower prices, and more importantly than all that, quality content. Because if they're gonna sell skin after skin after skin, and the only content I'm gonna get is a new Void Vessel map and some swords that are limited by ammo, no actual combos, FYI. I have a lot more gripes about the sword, but I'll wait till I actually play them to gripe appropriately. Alright, but I am gonna gripe about them because guess what? We deserve better than this. Warframe at its freaking launch had stances. So, we don't have stances. We have one basic combo that uses up ammo. Come on. I mean, I told you, Don, swords are not going to be great. They're going to be pretty bad. If it goes as badly as I think. Now, I'll probably still have a build for it, but I just don't foresee them being anything more than a niche weapon for the Descendants that are already strong with guns. That's how I feel about it. And that's annoying. Because I want them to be so much more. But I know for a fact that they won't be. And that's just the truth.
Protection target nearby. I'll guide you to the location.
Good.
Oldest special assault ship spotted. Picking up void mutant signals. Be careful.
But just as a heads up, Marshall, I'd have to see you all the time. So it's good that you're here today, but the real test is how often you actually show up when I'm doing other stuff. If I see you among my regulars, then there's hope for the future. But we'll see. I'm always a relaxed type of person. I know that some people don't show up to every single thing, but I will tell you, Cardabel is here no matter what I stream. So is Chosen One. So they're the ones that set the example. John, Baron, and the rest are from the older crowd, but yes, back then they were also here all the time. Foxy's another one, but she's currently handling her stuff. She's also part of our little family, but yeah, she's busy with life right now. Dawn also shows up a lot. But she's a bit of a traitor sometimes, you know? Where's the last dudes?
Primary tactical objective confirmed. Requesting search and destroy.
Yeah, there we go. And that is why you are an alright dude, high-rise society, but yeah, probably never gonna be part of the inner family. Sorry. But I still like you. Dark Project, there's no, like, there's a lot that they can do with it. You know, I think that I feel like we were discussing earlier, what they did was that they just gave us, like, they had an idea in their head. They put the bare bones into the game first, and later on they'll refine it. Which is what they often do. That's okay, Austin. You do what you need to where you can. You're a solid part of the family. Like I said, looking forward to another Dark Tide sesh with you when we get the time. Should be some fun. I've still got a lot to test in this update, so I look forward to it. I want to play around with the new bolt gun soon. Because, of course, the iconic bolter is one of my favorite Warhammer 40k weapons. The bolter, I think, will always be special to anyone who's liked Space Marines. Or Chaos Space Marines, either way. Yes, they are, Ivy Flame. They showed it in their live stream. There's ammo and swords. I don't say anything that's untrue, Mr. Ivy. Or Miss Ivy, I have no idea your gender, but... I'm a official content creator, which means I'm a partner. And that means that I have to only be truthful with you guys. So I cannot spread misinformation. That would be very, very wrong of me. You know, I also love how we all talked about constructive criticism and then Triple C dipped after saying I'm one negative dude. Like, bruh. You know, people will say anything on the internet, but they'll never stand up for their own points, or they'll never try and make sense of it. Like, ah well. I guess people just don't like confrontation, or they just feel safe behind their keyboards. A little bit sad there. But then again, that's kind of what I expect. True supporters or true Robot Nation followers would understand by now. You know? I'm not negative. I'm just honest. And an honest man is who you want in charge. Well, that's good, Ivy. I am one of the best when it comes to game content. Not just for this game, but for many other games as well. I just haven't felt very motivated in TFD because not much for me to do. Like, I like doing TFD content where I can, but I've been a bit disappointed lately. I thought the same until I realized that, technically speaking, Bunny can... Is this guy just waiting here at the end? I hope they're not leeching. I'd be very disappointed if somebody was leeching.
Picking up void mutant signal. Be careful. Get a real feel for it. Descendant, I picked up a mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby.
I'm gonna assume that they're not, but you never know. I trust Lawbreaker, but I don't quite trust the other dude because I don't know that person, so... I might dip after this one, you know, just re-roll the map, see if I can escape that, because although I don't mind helping out supporters, I don't like people who wait till the end to get in on the action, because that's not cool. You shouldn't do that. If you're interested in playing the game, play it proper, play it fairly, you know? Yeah, I think the other dude might be a leech, so I'm just gonna dip. Time to get out of here. Leeching is one thing I will not stand for, so I'm gonna come back in. I mean, I could use the sword while playing her, but what's the point? Because Bunny's skills alone will absolutely kill everything. So if you think about it, right? I think I do have one that's like cost and whatnot. I was looking for that. I was looking for fusion cost, actually. And don't want this. Don't want this either. I got cost cooldown, but I do need a fusion cost. The point is, though, that, like, look, Bunny has a lot of power going for her. But the main issue for Bunny is just that, like, why would I use the sword? Because for things that I can kill, that I need the sword for, I can't kill with skills. Which means I don't know how effective the swords will be because she doesn't have unlimited ammo. And for things that I can kill with skills, I don't ever need to pull out the sword because they're all dead anyway. So I guess that's the kind of catch-22 for me, because what exactly am I supposed to do, you know? Feels more than a little strange. So I thought of Bunny at first, but I just can't imagine. My family's doing fine, although really odd question to ask, Ivy. Why are you asking about my family? I mean, you can ask about me, but suddenly saying, I hope you and your family's doing well is like, oh, you and your family, sorry. I thought you said your family. My bad, I read that wrong. I thought you said, I hope your family's doing well. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I was almost like, this is some serial killer shit for October, man. Asking about my family. But if it's you and your family, that's fine. I misread that. I missed the you and. I just literally read it as, it's our first time watching you live. I hope your family is doing great. I was like, do I like Blair? Yeah, he's alright, but he's nothing fantastic. I mean, I can show him. I can show his gameplay. He just doesn't peak. Let me show you what I mean. This is the Blair build, of course, as you guys know. Alright, this is called Slow Cooker Style. It's pretty swankalicious. So we're going the same thing. No, all good. Like I said, I misread that, Ivy, so that was my bad. I thought that you said, I hope your family's doing good. I was like, whoa, scary. But no, you said you and your family, which is correct. So that's totally cool. I appreciate you being nice. Alright, so this is Blair with my standard build. As you know, what you're supposed to use is Arcane Leak, because it benefits him the most considering his skill power is relatively low. So we'll roll with that. Ever since you went away, we both know that's not the case. It's a promise you can't break. You said you'd never go away, but you know it's never easy. Ever since you went away, we both know that's not the case. It's a promise you can't break. So Blair has power, right? But to me, he still struggles a lot. Because much as I want to enjoy putting flame zones everywhere, recovering my MP and then just blasting, he suffers from the same issue as Valby. You kind of have to wait. You have to wait for enemies to die. And unlike Luna and Nell, he lacks an option to automatically deal with the ships. So that becomes a bit of a problem as well. I do wish that the swords replace sub-attacks Leaf, but it is what it is.
Needs to be destroyed. Requesting confirmation. Please respond.
So add in the relatively short nature of his skills, and even if I'm doing the absolute best I can, overall he is just slower than several of the other farmers. Because no matter what I do, it's not like my flames can cover the whole map, so I still have to, you know, slowly murder him bit by bit, you know? The hover bike does help a little bit, but overall, he still feels a lot slower. And that, I think, is my main disappointment with Gley. Well, you can build any of the builds on my channel, but if you played a few months, you should already have every single character, unless your playtime is very limited. So I would suggest picking the characters that I pick. Look for the latest builds on my channel, build that, and you'll be fine. Ultimate Luna is a great choice, and you should already have Ultimate Bunny. She's the first Ultimate Descendant you're supposed to make. If you didn't make Ultimate Bunny, you basically screwed yourself out of the entire game. So you should have started with Ultimate Bunny like everybody else. How to rapid fire with the Peacemaker? You have to charge it up with dimension type skills or fusion skills. Please read the unique ability and you'll learn how to rapid fire with it. It's the unique ability that lets you rapid fire, okay? So you should not be asking me, you should be reading the description of the Peacemaker. In fact, if you go to my weapon build, the old weapon build that I did for the Peacemaker, I go through the Peacemaker's unique ability. I'm pretty sure. If you can't find the video, it's okay, but just read the unique description and you'll understand it. If you don't understand it even after reading it, then bruh. I'd have to say that this game is probably not for you. Because look, this game requires you guys to read and understand. Like, I know the streamers are here to help you, but you should never need to ask me how to do certain things because these are part of reading the abilities. So please do read the unique ability, understand it. Like the builds, I can understand coming to me, but the unique abilities, you must read on your own. At least learn how it works, that way you are sure in your mind. Yes, I highly encourage it because while people, you know, do ask streamers questions, you should never rely on your streamer for absolutely everything. I always feel that if you can't figure out absolutely everything on your own except maybe builds or things like that, you're gonna have a rough time. Streamers are here to help you optimize your content, but ultimately, you should always read, experience things on your own because that helps your gaming and also helps you have a better time. So I encourage it. Even if people don't like it and they just want a quick answer, I always encourage it. Read the stuff in game and you'll be alright. Now he's not too much slower, like you just saw, he's not too much slower, but he does require about 30 seconds longer. Peacemaker is used for either the buff or to rapid fire. It really just depends, Tyrell. So there's a lot of ways you can use it. In fact, tell you what, just for giggles, I can show you guys how it's done. Okay, so we'll use Valby, but we'll switch to the non-crit build for her. Okay, so we go with pure power right here. Then we have this fusion stuff, but you can swap this around, doesn't really matter. So we will wield the Peacemaker. Okay, so this is the correct reactor and everything. Now everything is set here. Okay, great. It's not a reload. There's no reloading. It's just your ammo. Once you use up all your ammo, it changes from a combo to like just a single swing. But I'll have more details when the weapon's actually in the game. Everything that I know is from the live stream, so if you need, you can watch the dev live stream for more information, Ivy. But realistically speaking, you should just, I would really recommend you just wait until I test it live on stream. Always follow the streams, always come to the streams. That is how you learn. Okay, so basically, the unique ability of the Peacemaker is that once you charge up 5 stacks, you can rapid fire it. But you have to use 5 skills, so 5 fusion or dimension skills. Again, please read the description, but essentially that's how you do it. After you do 5 skills, you can rapid fire. Alright? That's how the Peacemaker works. And I hope that helps. That's all it does. But at the same time, the 5 stacks also buff up your non-attribute damage. So for Valby, it's often used as a stat stick more than for the rapid fire. It's much more important to be able to, at least in my personal opinion, rapid fire, like, use up the non-attribute bonus to get the non-attribute bonus rather than to rapid fire. Yeah, I was the first one to make a Jaber build, dude. Of course. How dare you assume that I don't have a Jaber build? My Jaber build is the one used by everybody. It's the best. You disappoint me, Tyrell. You dare ask if I have a Jaber build? Of course I do. I am that guy that played him as soon as he got his buff, okay? I made the Slaver build. Technically, I still have to revamp a couple of things about it. It's just some minor things. But you can actually follow it and do really well. Yeah, you better never ask again in future, alright? You better watch my streams and you better know what I'm playing. Don't you ever come at me with this I just got him stuff. No, no, no. As soon as you see me play a character, you better get that character, okay? I want you all to have all the same characters that I have. So whatever I play during the season, make sure you have it. Eugen, I don't have. Have you ever seen me play Eugen? Nah. Anything I don't play, I don't have. Hey, Lewis. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, pal. What you see me play, I have. What you don't see me play, I don't have. Okay? So always watch to see what I'm playing. And if you miss a single stream, then, well, can't help you there, pal. That's why I tell people, don't miss the streams. Nah, nobody's doubting. He's just asking if I had the build. And I'm just letting him know I do. Because he did not watch me when I was playing Jaber. I played Jaber for several streams in a row. So everybody knows about my Jaber build. That's why I was surprised.
Primary tactical objective confirmed. Requesting search and destroy.
Remember, guys, don't miss the streams. You miss the streams and miss the information, I'm not responsible to help you. Alright? Do not miss the streams. Your first stream? Huh? Have we not met before? Am I thinking of somebody else? I don't think so, dude. I literally recognize the name Tyrell Thomas. I'm pretty sure we've spoken before, unless you're somebody completely new. They changed back from handles to names, so I guess you could be a different Tyrell Thomas. But there's literally a dude called Tyrell whom I've spoken with multiple times. So if this is your first ever stream, okay, fair enough. But I swear I recognize you, dude. I usually don't joke with first timers at all, which comes as a surprise to me. But okay. But alright, if this is your first time ever, and you're not the Tyrell that I know, then fair enough. But yes, go check my channel for the Jaber build. All the characters that I use for a season, all will have their builds. It's all on my channel. If you don't see it on my channel, that means it's not a character I'm playing this season. There's a variety of reasons, but I usually just pick whatever is best for the season and off I go. Because TFD gets boring really fast and I like to play other games. I mean, I do like to work with other games too, so... after the Colossi, I might be able to demonstrate Jaber before we go in for Wall Crasher. That being said, Jaber is an alright donut. Actually, you know what? After Wall Crasher, then I'll showcase Jaber. But Jaber is also what we call Slaver. He is definitely one of the strongest and one of the fastest. So he's pretty darn good. I'm glad. I will be releasing more very soon. So please keep enjoying my music. Good. Say hi to your family for me, Lewis. Don't forget to ask them for the mamacitas, okay?
Attention. Large-scale dimensional breach in progress. Please evacuate to an area out of range of the sirens or depart the Colossus guided capture zones. Warning. Large-scale dimensional breach in progress. Please evacuate to an area out of range of the sirens or vacate the Colossus guided capture zones. All descendants in the vicinity, please respond to ground interception.
Sorry, just writing a quick email because I don't really do sales work except for certain items. And in this case, I am not interested in doing sales work. Okay, let me go quickly murder these things. Yeah, there's only one left. Good. Good that they murdered the other one.
Descendant, I've picked up a mutant material formation signal in the skies nearby.
I have zero interest in both swords. I'm going to build them, test them. If they're not meta or if they're not the best, I'm going to throw them in the bin. I don't foresee myself using the swords. I don't think they're fun at all based on how they work. I could be wrong. But just the fact that they have ammo has completely put me off the swords. So I think that they're absolute trash, and I think that the devs should have reconsidered actual, you know, melee combat in this game instead of doing what they did. But, well, we'll see. They can always change it in future. Okay, now we wait for Wall Crasher. 7 minutes, I got time to do one more of these. But yeah, both swords, to me, I am doubtful that they'll actually be useful or anything fantastic. I hope I'm wrong. I'm still going to build and play them. But to me, they're already like a waste of space. Because they need to be able to compete with the wave clear of skill-based descendants if they're going to do ammo. Unless they're going to make Gley dash and slash through every single enemy at record speed and complete runs like faster than Bunny, then that's not going to happen. I'm not even expecting faster than Bunny, but at least 20 seconds slower than Bunny. No more than that. If I can't even manage that, then bruh, you know? A bit hard to justify them. If they do enough damage, then I think we can probably just smash the Colossi in one shot. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm gonna keep an open mind, but for now, my impression is very negative.
Descendant, there is a tactical objective which needs to be destroyed. Requesting confirmation.
I mean, scale-wise, we kind of suspend disbelief. For any video game, I mean, I do have to admit that, if you think about it, all right, when it comes to a game, you always have to suspend disbelief about certain things. Because if you think about it, right, and I always use Warhammer 40k as the example, but in Warhammer 40k, a Beast of Nurgle is so toxic and filled with plague that if you even approach it, you're going to die a horrible death of viruses. Because Nurgle is the god of plague. Yet in Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, our guardsmen don't even wear ventilators or special tools to prevent viruses from getting into the system. Yet they fight Beasts of Nurgle. Literal plague beasts that should normally contain diseases so disgusting you'd instantly die. So you gotta suspend disbelief a little bit. I have no thoughts on the Amorphous opening. If it benefits the new players, good, but I personally don't care because I don't open Amorphous. I mean, I might have to for the Catalyst, but I'll test it out when it's in-game. What you will learn about me, Tyrell, is that I never judge anything. I never have opinions too early about stuff that I cannot personally test. I might have a take on it, but most of the time I don't have an opinion. Wait for me to test it live on stream, then you can come and ask me again. But if you're watching my streams constantly, you'll see me do all the testing live anyway.
I'll guide you to the location.
I test everything, and I showcase everything. Hence why, don't miss the streams. I think melee not fitting is more of a personal thing. I like it because of the anime vibes. I feel that like it'd be really cool to be able to slash down a Colossus, you know, Devil May Cry style. There's nothing wrong with melee in this type of game. I think it's totally fine. But the implementation of it is what matters, South Goblin. Fantasy settings always need a melee option. It's just cool. I mean, being able to dash and slash a person at light speed, that's always going to be cool. But if we don't have like the super cool martial arts to back it up, that's when it becomes uncool. Because swords are a martial weapon.
Primary tactical objective confirmed. Requesting search and destroy.
I don't think they should drop the damage at all. I think keep the damage hella high and just make the swords an option where we can dash and slash around, then bring the guns up to their level. That way everybody has an option, you know? Those who want to go ham with melee, they should be allowed to. You're right, at least they did mention they're reworking hard mode Colossus. I just feel that they keep doing this in drips and drabs. This game will eventually be good, but it's probably going to take 2-3 years. Checking my emails for a second before I go in and smoke Wall Crasher. I hate getting stuck on that one platform. It's so weird. Whee! There'll definitely be more updates for swords. I have no doubt on that. Because the fact of the matter is, players aren't going to be super happy with this. Like I said, unless the swords are so powerful that they're actually worth a niche use, then I'd say fair enough. But I just don't foresee it. Because as far as I can tell, they don't look that impressive. At least to me. Maybe I could be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. But ammo on swords is a stupid concept. But I'll showcase that in my video. where I'm showcasing like some of the Dark Tide stuff as well. Yeah, the big one having to use high-powered rounds is big problems. Don, that makes 0 sense. Why would they nerf swords? They're not. It's not like they're gonna be super powerful. That one I have to question your sanity on, my dear friend. Why would they say nerf swords? That makes no sense. Unless you're thinking something that I'm not thinking, then okay, maybe. But
Get a real feel for it.
oh damn, that was my bad. But that's okay. I cannot.
Let's go.
Death reset. Take the debuff to your face. This is a relatively slow one, but I wonder how much damage I'll get to deal. Oh, this is already feeling like fun. Not really, Cassius. Swords will never have ammo. It is ridiculous to have ammo in any setting. Even sci-fi settings don't have any ammo. Nah, it should be way over 1.2. 2.2. Close to half. But since there were like 6 people, hey, I did good. And fair enough, Don. That would be the kind of nonsense they come up with. Do I have a descendant that'll be perfect with a sword build in mind? No. Like I said, Ivy, never ask me anything early. It's better to wait for my actual testing streams, and then you will be able to see it.
Formation signal in the skies nearby.
Ask me anything early, you'll get the same answer all the time. No, wait for the testing stream. That's how we do things here, and that's why the Robot Nation operates very differently to a lot of other streams out there. If I give you a hot take now and I'm wrong, that ruins your experience. There's no point in me giving a hot take right now about, like, I can give a hot take about what I feel about the system that's coming up, but build-wise, things like this, there's a lot of math that actually goes into it. So it would be best if you're talking like builds and stuff to wait for the future. Ha! Austin, Lamal. Oh, good. Hopefully you'll see and learn why we're so different. Like I said, we do things in a particular way because it's simply better. I don't like to shoot from the hip, as it were, because there's no point in doing that. I always feel that it's better to, for builds at least, or for things that involve math and deterministic science, it's better to wait and see. For things that are known, for example, the fact that ammo exists for swords, I will still say it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. In a lot of sci-fi settings, there's no such thing as ammo for swords. Nobody can justify this. There will never be any justification for it other than the devs were lazy. And they were. That's fair, that's a fact. But, will I still be trying swords? Yes. I've said this multiple times. Will I still be testing builds? Yes. Said this multiple times as well. You know, what I find is a big problem this day and age. Not saying you, Ivy, I'm just saying in general, because a lot of people are very stupid. Most of them don't hang out at the stream, which is why they are stupid in the first place. But, and for those that don't know, the reason why I call people stupid is because, look, I have 140 IQ. Most people are stupid compared to me. But let me just say this straight. Most people, they think that that if you don't agree with everything somebody does, that you are against them. That's not how the world works. People can be supporting you, but still be against what you are doing if what you are doing is wrong. In this particular case, our feeling is that swords should have been a powerhouse melee weapon that could, you know, make people feel like they're playing that swordsman fantasy. But instead of giving us that, it was extremely disappointing that they gave us Destiny 2 swords. And while a lot of people are still pointing out the copium that, hey, some swords were fire in Destiny 2, the fact of the matter is that they were niche. And I don't want these weapons to be niche. I wanted Devil May Cry. I mean, they're doing a Bayonetta collab. Why not a Devil May Cry collab for the guys? Which they haven't had a collab for the guys yet, only for the ladies so far. And now that they've added swords into the game, it's entirely possible. Let me dash around and fulfill my dreams of being Virgil. Or Dante. Either way works. But the fact that they've gone down the route of these swords are going to have ammo, and not even one ammo type. One is impact ammo, the other one's going to be heavy ammo. You know, when the heavier sword would be more perfect for a character who wants to roleplay as Dante. But when I look at that, I'm just like, come on, man. I feel that you're not playing to your strengths. I feel like the game is not playing to its strengths. Yeah, a special bar like stamina or stuff like that could have worked. And for those of you, look, tomorrow I'm going to do a video that talks about swords and how I feel about it. You know, it's going to be a short video, but I intend to actually show a comparison to Warhammer 40,000 Darktide, because I want to show off what a power weapon feels like in that game. It's a very different feeling, but it genuinely feels like a power weapon, and it's not overpowered by any means. For those of you that have seen me play that game or who have played that game, think of the Relic Greatsword. It's got a system whereby you switch on the power, it gets powerful attacks for a while, then it overheats and needs to go on a cooldown. They could have used that system here. It would have been something unique, not really seen before in a looter shooter. Because looter shooters mostly go two ways. Warframe style or Destiny 2 style. And normally I don't talk about Warframe, but today is a special day because this sword discussion cannot happen without Warframe. Warframe's melee style would have been so much better than Destiny 2's because they've copied everything else from Warframe. Why not copy the melee system as well? Why go for a Destiny 2 melee system, which makes no sense to me? This hurts. Thanks, Finesse. Let me know what kind of music I can play for you after I'm done talking. But the point of this whole thing is that there are so many other systems they could have used. They could have used a stamina system. They could have used a recharge-based system. There are a lot of other systems out there that can be used. And that's why I'm voicing the concerns. That's why I'm not shutting my mouth. That's why I'm opening my mouth. People can call me negative. People can call me, you know, people can say, why are you trying to hurt the game? But constructive criticism will never hurt the game. In fact, did you know that I was first brought on as a content creator for Warhammer Darktide? Funnily enough, because I was critical of the game. I will always be critical of the game. All right. I will always be critical of any game that I play because I hold them to the highest possible standards. It's why I also tested everything for Borderlands 4. When people were saying performance has issues, I tuned my game, no issues. Then I asked, what's the big problem? People were saying, it's because I'm trying to play on 4K. I'm like, do you know that 4K gaming is impossible for most games to even optimize right now? Most people, they go for, like, for example, 60 FPS, 60 hertz monitors, 4K. What's the point? Do you know how much more beautiful it is to be able to see your game in 240 frames? I've got a 240 hertz monitor, 1440p, only cost me $400. It is the most beautiful experience you'll ever see. Because when you get that feeling of speed, when you've tried playing a competitive game at high frame rates, you feel so amazing. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Too many people forget about speed and they go for beauty. But beauty does not look good when it's stuttering at 60 FPS. Beauty does not look good when it's stuttering at 120 FPS. You know what looks good? Okay, and I hate saying this, but what looks good is this right here in 240 frames when I am seeing it move like literally super smooth. And FYI, I know somebody else brought this up before, but people can actually see in higher frame rates. Some of us actually can. Some people can just see in higher frames. Maybe I'm just one of those humans, but I can actually see in higher frames. And I'm telling you, there is nothing better than seeing everything in higher frames. It's beautiful. It's true. It's true. You know? And look, I'll be open about this. Sometimes me and Kaz, like when I'm playing competitive games, we do have our little stream fights, but it's never anything serious because at the end of the day, she is not a yes man. She is here to try and help me. So although we disagree about some things, that's a part of the whole thing. Sometimes my people will tell me that I haven't done something so well, you know, and they'll just tell me honestly, and I say fair enough, you know. I do agree that sometimes I might be a bit heavy-handed with the stuff that I do. And if people tell me I'm heavy-handed, I back down, I change my ways. But at the same time, I'm not going to fully change who I am because that's who I am. But I'm not expecting anyone to be a yes man because at the end of the day, you have to give honest feedback. You have to take honest feedback both ways. You give honest feedback, you get honest feedback. That's how it is. I'm definitely not feeling the ammo on the sword either. 110%. I feel that it is sad. I did not like the system. I did not like the idea of that system. I said it before, I hope we're getting Warframe's melee system and not Destiny 2. But we got Destiny 2, so we're just going to have to sort of roll with the punches and say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. We can learn to watch and play and get along with each other. But look, we'll just have to roll with it, man. Nothing we can do about it. You know, just roll with the punches. Roll with the punches and try to have the best time we can. This isn't Destiny 2. Pretty much as Austin said. So why are we worrying about power creep when power creep has already been happening? Like I said, I understand your concerns, but power creep has already happened in so many situations that it's not really something we should worry about. This isn't Destiny 2. This is TFT. And I personally say that we should just focus on throwing caution to the wind. If this game wants to be different, if this game wants to be something special, then it needs to take the plunge and say, hey, I'm going to do it different. I'm going to be different. I'm going to be special. And that's facts. If they won't do that, then, well, there's nothing we can do. It's not that it's that bad. It's just that it's more of a niche weapon, IV. And that's pretty much what any Destiny 2 player will tell you. It's a niche weapon. It's used in some circumstances, but again, this isn't Destiny 2. We don't have Destiny 2 raids. We don't have Destiny 2 stuff. We don't have Destiny 2 anything. This isn't Destiny 2. This is mostly a Warframe clone. So, I don't know why they suddenly switched gears, but like I said, somebody else brought it up in stream, and I think they were right. It's laziness. It's the devs' laziness in creating a new system, which they should have done if they want to be different. If you want to be different, you have to move different. I remember doing something like that because I played a Titan. Kaz also played a Titan, so it was pretty funny. I remember something like that. I remember when I could go smashy Titan and just smash everything, which was pretty funny as well. Agreed. I want them to have their own appeal, which is the key. I want them to be something different, not just copy, 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 and at that point copy badly. I feel that they will get their own system over time, but it's going to take some time. Also, hang on. I wanted to test this earlier when I got up here. I think I can dance off it without falling off it. I'll just float, right? Yeah, okay. Aerial dance! Check it out. She's a black magic woman. Listen, PV Wolf, I have no idea. Well, I wouldn't say they're evil people, but I understand what you mean, Selena. I just say that I think they're misguided because, yeah, criticism is good. Criticism helps. And that's not a bad thing. You don't see Sharon anywhere else, Cassius. That's never a bad thing. Every character should be able to be completely so overpowered that they are unbelievable, because that's the fun. Think of it. Do you know why Dynasty Warriors will always be such a popular franchise? Dynasty Warriors is because you can play Lubu and execute millions and millions of people. It's the fun of that type of game. And this game, considering the fact that skills already delete everything on screen, why aren't we leaning more into the beat 'em up type of feeling? Swords should be OP, guns should be OP, everything should be OP. So that, yes, I'm moving from one OP thing to the next, but that's the variety of the gameplay. Today I want to be OP with guns, today I want to be OP with swords. You know, that's the kind of thing. Why does it matter in a PvE game? We're not trying to balance PvP here. Because earlier you said this, but the point still stands. Why are you worried about power creep? Why are you worried about being overpowered when Serena exists? Why are you worried about being overpowered when Nell exists? Why are you worried about being overpowered when Ultimate Luna exists? Ultimate Luna does 859 million damage in all of 25 seconds. Back when we executed Tormentor, we were barely doing like, what was it, 100 million? I think Austin will remember that time back when we had to use Last Dagger with Serena. It was like barely 100 million. We were like, oh my god, so much damage. You know? And then now Ultimate Luna is just like, yeah, hold my beer, 859 million. It's like, bruh, you know? So this is the issue. This to me is the issue. It's the problem. It was around there, wasn't it? The one shot with ATOMs is like 100 million damage in one shot. So there's always going to be more and more power-ups. That's how it is. That's how a game works. And since TFD is already going in that direction, lean into it. I feel that they should stop being afraid. I said it before. They need to pick a direction and lean into it. Are they going serious looter shooter? Or are they going to go Borderlands style? Because do you know what's the most fun part about Borderlands? How ridiculous it is. We have weapons that can cause total existential failure. Well, I have no doubt that you can, Austin. Most likely. So, yeah. It's like, you know, it's just hard to justify. I don't think Sharon will be dominant this update with the sword. Not with ammo being a limiting factor. Because why would I use a sword when I can just spin like a Beyblade and kill everything? Unless it's going to clear faster than an AoE Descendant. What's the point? Swords are limited by ammo, and they will all, and that is the limiting factor. Cassius was talking about a fictional situation where with unlimited ammo, Sharon might be dominant. But I still don't see it. Because is she going to clear faster slashing around than a skill-based Descendant just going off and mowing down everything. Let's be realistic here. Let's be realistic. Okay? How is a sword going to be faster than this? Well, I don't know. I'm not judging him for that either, but well, to be fair, he does have a valid point that, technically speaking, if you were to have Sharon going crazy with a sword, technically, and being able to kill very fast with it, then with unlimited ammo, then yes, that could be a possibility. But I still wouldn't be able to see it because, first of all, there is limited ammo, and second of all, Sharon is practically unused. Because if we want to talk about speed, my question is, how is any sword going to be faster than this? Because unless you're telling me that my dash is going to be faster than just running in a straight line with skills and eliminating everything along the way, it's not. But why would you want to kill one by one with no worries? Why do you want to play the game slower? That's not good. Well, yeah, pretty much. They did, South Goblin. Oh yeah, I was supposed to play Jaber for you guys. I'll do that after this. But this is literally the entire direction of the game. Swords are not going to be faster than this. Now, if you personally want to play slowly and kill enemies one by one, then sure. You know, you can go ahead and do that. I don't understand why anyone would want to waste their time doing that, but if that's how you have fun with the game, far be it for me to judge it. I'll go for it. I think it does, but even so, like, you're not going to beat Bunny's AoE of 30 meters. Literally, all I have to do is just run in a direction, and everything is dead. Right? Man, I'm too busy, like, focusing on just constantly making money. I don't want a time sink. I want to spend the minimum time possible, get the maximum fun out of it. Oh, man, I haven't played Bunny in so long, I keep running into walls. I love her new speed, but God. Running into the walls, peeps. This is how long I haven't run Bunny in. It's literally been like a Dragon Age. But yeah, swords are not going to be faster than this. And that's good for you, but other people don't want to do that. Other people wanted to meet the standard of other Descendants, hence why power is good. They can't craft content for just one person, you know? And also, if TFD is your only hobby, then I worry for you, man. Like, genuinely, there are way better games to play. I might like TFD, but I don't want to spend all day here. That's such a waste of time. There's whole worlds, universes that we can experience out there. You know? Whole stories that have yet to be told. I don't want to spend any more time on TFD than I have to. Yeah, of course I played Dragon Age. I played all the way up to Inquisition even. But I didn't play Veilguard. They lost me with the direction they're going, honestly. Somebody's got a very sus outfit over there. But anyway. You guys have seen it for yourself. Look, you're never going to be faster than Bunny. You're never going to be faster than several skill-based Descendants absolutely wiping the map. So, unless swords are introduced on a way that they can compete, they're only going to remain niche. They're not going to see as much use as I want them to see, because I was excited for a melee system that, okay, even if it's a little bit slower, I could take it, but this looks like it's not even going to be able to borderline replace any of the stuff that we currently have. And that sucks. Now, fun fact, we might be able to use the swords on Jaber because Jaber himself does not rely on guns or anything, which could be cool. But for those that want to see my Jaber build, all right, just in case you wanted to see it in action, I'll go private. I don't think so, because your primary damage would still come from the skills, and those would have frenzy phases, so I don't foresee that being the case at all. Luna with her new module, the gun one, might be good, yeah. I've thought about that as a boss killer, Colossus killer with a sword, but I'd have to learn how to use that module. Anyway, Jaber could also be one of the ones with potential, since instead of relying on the gun, you could use the sword while the turrets supplement, which is pretty darn cool. So here's a quick look at it. Sorry, Finesse, I'll owe you some music a little later. But, or you can ask for a song anytime. But Jaber, essentially, like, because he can just put down turrets and put down healing and not worry about it. I could pull off something like this and just chill, you know?
Breach creatures multiplying. There must be a colony.
So for those that want to see Jaber in action, this is how good he is. Just put down 3 turrets and you're good. Like, if you want to be lazy, you can be lazy. Just detonate your turrets every once in a while. And you can literally be lazy. Jaber is the ultimate in AFK gameplay. Heals himself, or rather his turret heals him. You can choose to just relax, sip a martini.
My shield is down. Turret summoned.
Stand on a box. Look, ma, no hands. So that's Jaber. Oops, sorry.
Descendant,
Pop that guy right there.
Please confirm.
I was thinking about that, yeah. Because I never played her right now, but I think it was Dawn who reminded me about that. So yeah, it might give me a reason to play the other module, you know? More Luna fun.
Summoning assault turret.
But yeah, Jaber is literally the ultimate in just, I'm gonna AFK. Whatever, I don't feel like playing the game. I'll play tomorrow, you know? He's that sort of dude. So that's how we play Jaber right now.
Summoning turret.
Oh no, I died it. But death doesn't matter to Jaber.
I was caught off guard. Summoning assault turret.
Jaber laughs in the face of death.
Cover here.
Descendant, bogus comms traffic is increasing at your location. It looks like
The best
each
part
of the
about
breach-
Slaver over here is that he even works on bosses.
Reactivation sequence.
Bogus special assault ship identified.
Summoning assault turret. Turret engaged. Summoning assault turret.
The only downside to Jaber is that you do lose out on his bonuses if you don't plonk down the combat turret, because it doesn't trigger on the medical turret.
Shield is down.
But you gotta plonk down the combat turret
Objective
every so often.
Search and destroy
But yeah, even on the elites, right? Like, you can just plonk down 2 turrets, plonk down a medical turret. It'll attack the medical turret. And then, like, this breach discharger, dead. Then for the main guy...
Operating assault turret. Summoning turret.
Like, the main dude will die as well. So usually this is what I do. I'll get them to detonate. Now this guy likes to move, so I only put down 1 usually. Now I'll put down the other 2. And I'll put down the 3rd medical turret right there. And the boss just gets wiped. If I want to speed it along, I can shoot him like that. But yeah, that's essentially it. And that's Jaber's gameplay in a nutshell. Pretty swanky danky, pretty fast and good. But yeah. There you have it. There you have it. Slay, 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 burr. Burr, 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 burr. So those that do not know Jaber, this is why I made my build for him that way. Very straightforward, very simple. He slays and he's the burr. So that's what he does. He slays and burrs. He is the eternal slaver. Lost lord of the slavery. Blessed be his name, for he is the slaver. Blessed art thou who sing in his name.
What can I help you with?
Okay, time to dismantle the trigger modules that are crap. Goodbye, crappy trigger modules. Anything with blue is gone. New death by 1,000 cuts? Imperfect. Imperfect. This is just waiting for my Enzo. What the hell? That sound effect got me. Lol. How do you unlock trigger modules? You can just watch my guide on trigger modules, dude. Have you seen my guide on trigger modules? If you haven't seen my guide on trigger modules, you might want to check my guide on trigger modules. I had plenty of guides for you on all of these magical things. I believe it was Rena just playing a sound effect. He occasionally does that from time to time. I'm gonna assume it was him. I don't know. If she is, then good. If not, then it's totally cool. I'll chili Manjaro. I didn't watch the full live stream. I only just watched the sword section, which John kindly tagged me about. Well, good luck studying all the videos, Demetrius. As long as you do, you'll be fine. There's plenty of studying work for all of you. Okay. Yeah, Rena tagged the exact video. There you go. There you go. This one is performing with the Doggerino. I'll forever traumatize you guys with the male version of this dance. That'll forever traumatize people, I swear to God. Doesn't he look good? Yeah, that's right. Jump, dog. Jump. Jump. There you go. Look at my joggy dumping high. Joggy? Doggy jumping high. Lol. I really don't know what they were thinking with this, but it's like some kind of weird ass flower dance. Oh yeah, I saw that, the cheerleader thing. I don't know, man. If it's not Lollipop Chainsaw, I can't get behind it, you know? If they're gonna do cheerleading outfits, it needs to be Lollipop Chainsaw level. Dia, you massive nerd. When you waking up out of your tank? You've been in there for 2 seasons. Get out of the tank. Alright, but anyway, I think I've covered everything I need to. So, ladies and gents, big thank you for showing up today. Let's end the poll right here because I don't have anything else to say. And thank you all for contributing to the polls and the discussions today. I do look forward to seeing some of them, but I don't know if I'll buy any of them. Like I said, we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, 32% of people are still apparently hyped, so that's more than what we started with, and the poll had a completion of 259 votes. So very interesting. But for the 30% of people that are hyped, look, I hope you guys will have a great time with it. I pray for you guys. But I am going to say this. I don't think this is going to go as well as you guys hope. I pray that it will, but I don't feel strongly about it. Ammo is not a thing on swords. So I would have preferred a better system, but, well, we shall see. So thank you very much. All right, tomorrow will be a totally different game, obviously, and the next time you'll see me on TFD will be for the Thursday update itself. So let's have some fun. I'll be covering some of the games this week, hopefully, so I can finish out some stuff. But thank you, and catch you on the next one, okay? Don't do anything too weird while I'm gone. If you do weird shit while I'm gone, then I'll have to roll around in a corner and be sad, okay? All right. Thank you all for your presence. Catch you on the next one. All right. See you tomorrow. And remember, no morning stream tomorrow. I'm going for my haircut finally. Got to get this haircut before my family event on Thursday. All right. Thank you. See you. And don't do any weird shit.